Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Vista Center's Low Vision Eye Clinic celebration. My name is Corey Lyle, and I'm the CEO of Vista Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired, and it's my honor and privilege to welcome everyone today. We are super excited about this low vision clinic service being available in San Jose, and it's been a long time. Before we get going, I'd like to call out an outstanding person in our organization who has really made this happen. Our Senior Director of Clinic Services, Garland Sarami, has been with us for many years and manages now 3 of our clinics. And so we're super proud of Garland and thankful that she's with us to help with this service. I'd also like to thank the County of Santa Clara for their financial support and the hardware that we have in our new clinic, and also the members of the Vintage Affair over the years that have helped us, donors, philanthropists, the host committee. So many people at Vintage Affair have been part of this, making this day possible. So we are grateful, and let's get going on our program. Our first speakers tonight are John and Susan Glass, who are very special people to Vista Center. They've been involved with Vista Center and the San Jose community for decades. And I enjoy very much hearing their story, and I think you will too. So I'm gonna pass it over to John and Susan Glass.
Hi, I'm John Glass, Chair of Vista Center's Board of Directors. I was born blind and began my journey with Vista Center when I was in the 1st grade. While my sighted classmates were learning to read print, I was being taught Braille, and Vista Center's Braille library had the books that our class was reading. Growing up, I participated in Vista Center's youth programs and made several good friends along the way. After graduating from St. Mary's College with my bachelor's degree in business administration, I took a job with Advanced Computer Controls, a telecommunications company here in Silicon Valley. As customer service manager, I needed to have our product manuals in Braille, and Vista Center's volunteers produced them by hand, approximately 30 volumes worth. Without these manuals, I would not have been able to be successful in my job for the next 8 years. As a former client who has benefited from Vista Center's programs and services, I am committed to leading the Board of Directors to support our mission. It is a real honor and privilege being able to give back to an organization which has helped me grow both personally and professionally. Vista Center's board is committed in our determination to work with dedicated staff to bring life-changing programs and services to thousands of clients every year. I want to thank the generous sponsors, organizers, presenters, and attendees. It is all of you who are making our event such a success.
My name is Susan Glass, and I've been totally blind all my life. When my family settled in the San Francisco Bay Area in the early 1960s, I don't think we knew what a formative and steadfast role Vista Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired would play in our lives. Now, I say our lives because my whole family benefited from the Vista team's knowledge and support. That support for me began at the Vista San Jose campus, which housed both the Braille Transcription Project and a Braille library. That library, my heaven and my haven. I'd sit on the carpeted floor for hours, buried under piles of Braille volumes, while I tried to decide what books to take home and read during the coming week. My mom often drove me to the library after school, where I'd look for music or science or history books to help me complete my homework. My first after-school job, in fact, was at that library, where I learned to catalog and shelve books. I think it's fair to say that Vista's Braille Library played a significant role in pointing me toward my career as a full-time English professor, a career that lasted for 30 years. Vista helped me learn practical life skills too, wayfinding being the most important. When you can't see, you sometimes need help from specially trained teachers who assist you with tasks like crossing busy streets, planning safe travel routes, climbing stairs, and so forth. Whenever I needed wayfinding help at the various college campuses where I taught or in a new neighborhood to which I'd moved, Vista teachers were right there. When a new guide dog and I needed to practice a particular skill, well, the Vista team was there too. They continue to enhance and support my independence. Currently, I am honored to serve on Vista Center's board of directors. It's rewarding to give back to an organization that has so significantly shaped my life and continues to strengthen and support the lives of many other blind and low vision children and adults.
Welcome to the grand opening for the new low vision clinic in San Jose. My name is Susan Martin. I am a former president of Vintage Affair and a past president of the board for Vista Center for the Blind. It is my honor to congratulate you on this momentous occasion. You know, it was Pam Brandon's dream to open up a low vision clinic in San Jose, and I could not be more thrilled to have been instrumental in making this happen. But none of this would have been possible had it not been for our incredibly generous donors, our wonderful volunteers, and all of the many, many committee members for Vintage Affair over the last 39 years. It has been my honor and my privilege to have been part of all of this. I know that the clients at the new low vision clinic will get the best care possible from the most knowledgeable staff. And I thank you all for being part of this wonderful occasion. And thank you all for being part of the virtual grand opening for the low vision clinic in San Jose.
Hi, I'm State Senator Dave Cortezzi, and thank you so much for inviting me to this celebration for the Vista Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. Congratulations to all of you for this opening. Thank you so much for the work that you do, not only in Senate District 15 and in the county at large, but this work is so important in the entire state of California. We know that. We're here to do anything we can to support you in your work going forward. I'm sorry that we can't be together during this time, during the pandemic, but I also know how important the services you provide are in this time of great need as we try to close out this pandemic. I'm looking forward to getting together with you in person sometime soon. In the meanwhile, please let me or my office staff know if we can ever be of assistance. Again, congratulations.
Congratulations, Vista Center. We are so glad you are in San Jose now to serve more clients. Only through low vision clinics' visual assessments, they can receive customized recommendations for rehabilitations and low vision aids tailored for their specific lifestyle and needs. Speaking as a family member of visually impaired and as an R&D collaborator, Corey and team, you are making meaningful and significant differences to visually impaired every day. We love you and thank you for your work.
Hi, my name is Corey Lyle and I am CEO of Vista Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. We're a nonprofit that has been in the Bay Area for over 75 years, serving people with low or no vision. We serve youth, working adults, and seniors in our 3 office locations of Palo Alto, Santa Cruz, and San Jose. We help about 3,400 people a year, and that branches out and gets exponentially better in the benefit with the fact that we're helping their families as well. Deal with either someone that's in school that has blindness or a low vision, and helping people navigate with their canes around town or getting on public transportation. We want people with this limitation to live a full life, defined by them, not defined by their limited sight.
Hi, I'm Dr. Chin, and I'd like to welcome you to the Vista Center San Jose Low Vision Clinic. I've been a low vision optometrist with Vista Center for 28 years, and I love working as a low vision optometrist. I've seen people with many different conditions. To name a few, we see macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, people in the younger age group with albinism, retinitis pigmentosa. It's quite a gamut of ocular conditions that we can serve at our clinic. Many people wonder how a low vision evaluation is different from their normal eye exam. Well, we start with a comprehensive low vision history form. It's in large print, and we ask lots of questions about their daily life. What can you do, and what are you having difficulty with? In the formal sense of the word low vision, professionals have deemed it to be someone whose visual acuity is 20, 70, or worse. Many of the challenges that clients face when they have vision loss is that they're no longer able to read their mail or letters. And so we can often help them with magnification to enlarge text so that they can go back to reading again. What's exciting about helping people reclaim their independence is that they're able to do things for themselves that they felt they could no longer do because of their vision loss. And it could be simple things such as crossing the street, traveling safely, maybe resuming driving. There are so many areas in life that one can resume once they're given the tools to do so. And it's really exciting to be a part of that.
There's one story that I'd love to share that really embodies Vista Center and what we can do for people. My office is very close to the front desk where people check out, and I had seen a woman come in earlier in the day, pretty young woman, and her head was down and she was moving slowly, and then I didn't see her, for a couple hours, and then I heard this voice in the lobby saying, "Oh, I don't have to lose my job. I'm going to be able to keep working. I love being a teacher." And I ran out of the office, and it was her. And then the front desk person was crying, I was crying, the client was crying. We were so happy that we had just avoided this huge pit that she could have fallen in of loss of life, loss of love of teaching. So that to me has just made a big impact on me.
Vista Center is really unique in what it can provide to our immediate neighbors. We're the only agency that can fully address people's lives in totality. And what I mean by that is I'm not just going to give you a magnifier to read your mail, but you could also join a support group. You could join a book club. You can go on a hike with our hiking group. We have a youth group where they go to Great America or they've gone to the zoo. We have computer classes. There are just so many opportunities to expand what you can do with vision loss, and that just translates to a fuller, richer, more independent life.
What inspires me most about Vista Center is the longevity, the loyalty, and the community support that we have. This organization has been serving the community for over 75 years. And the community members that give financially, give of their time, and advocate for people with low vision have been working with us for 50 years. That is an amazing organization that is serving a population of people that need assistance, and with that assistance can live so much more joyfully in their lives, even with the loss of vision. And that's our goal, to empower our clients to live their best life. Hello again. This is Corey, and I wanted to thank Dr. Chin for her time to help us film that really informational and inspiring conversation about the Low Vision Clinic. Thank you, Dr. Chin. And I'd like to ask you a couple of questions and then maybe have the audience put questions in the chat if they're interested in asking you something. So I think we've been kind of working around this, but what is it exactly that inspires you about working in a low vision clinic?
What really inspires me about being here at Vista is how we're able to make positive changes in people's lives. And as mentioned in the video, not just with improving their vision with the magnifier, but just enabling people to live their fullest life, not defined by their vision. To give a few examples, I have one young student and he's a swimmer, but his eye condition is that he was born without any cones, which makes it impossible for him to see during the daytime. His vision is best at night, and he prefers all the lights to be down in the room. And so you can imagine, for someone who wants to be a swimmer and be on a swim team, you're with water, the glare off the cement and on the water. It's really, really hard for him to be able to function in that way. But with a special medical tint put into customized goggles, we're able to have him be on a swim team and swim, you know, just with all the other kids on the team. And that was really great. Another example would be someone who has albinism and has impaired vision, but enough vision to be able to drive with a telescope. A bioptic telescope is a telescope that is inserted into their glasses with their prescription. And so I customized the telescope for his vision. And he later told me that he felt so comfortable driving with the telescope that he even applied for a motorcycle license. And so he took not only just the regular car license, but he asked for a motorcycle road test, and he passed that, and he has a motorcycle license as well, so that he can drive. So there really wasn't a barrier anymore for him to do these things that he didn't think were possible. Going further, I see mostly people who have macular degeneration, and I'm not sure if you know, but that is the leading cause of vision loss in the United States for people who are older, over 60. And with vision loss, not only do you lose a sense of independence, but sometimes it also can accompany further cognitive loss, because you don't have a visual reminder of things to do, or your connection to people and words is not as strong because you don't have the visual memory to back that up. And so being able to see words again with magnification is really important, not just for reading mail, but just in other areas of life. And of course, we have all the different support and activities that Vista Center offers that I just think is really wonderful. And I love Vista Center for what we can provide for people.
Well, I know you are, well, I know you're so inspiring to watch, and so inspiring to so many people who come in contact with you during clinic days. So thank you for that. We had a question from the audience that might actually fold in with one of the things I wanted to talk about, which is working with people who are born blind versus people who are who have trauma or lose their eyesight as an adult. And the wide range of services that we offer address both, but maybe you can give us more details, Dr. Chen.
Mm-hmm. Well, someone who is born blind is actually it's very less common for someone to be born, what I say, totally blind. And Susan and John Glass addressed our services in terms of being a non-visual, going throughout the world without vision. And so we do have all of those services with non-visual skills, rehabilitative skills, in terms of training people how to do that. And they're also supported in the schools, because if a child is born blind, then there's support services from the get-go. The vast majority of people, though, who have vision loss have acquired low vision. And because it's acquired, it's harder to adapt. If they lose vision more in one eye than the other, they lose depth perception. And so the brain has been used to seeing the world binocularly, and then it needs to learn to adapt monocularly, and then also with low vision. Part of our job is to educate people on how vision loss affects their ability to do things, and then how can they compensate for that loss and do those activities again. So it's there, you come at it a little differently between the, the two impairments.
Mm-hmm. And after you work with people, they oftentimes will use other services from Vista. So talking about the way we provide social services to help with the emotional journey, we have recreation, we have a store, a retail store for people to come in and see things. And we also offer peer mentoring, book clubs. So there's a wide range of, in addition to the clinic, that once you see Dr. Chin, you can continue to find ways to live a life with low vision. And so I'd like to go to the audience now. And one of the questions that is really interesting is, how does low vision evaluation or the clinic differ from ophthalmology or optometrist? So how do I know which one to go to if I'm a person that is losing my sight?
Okay, so someone who has active, I'll say, disease is seeing their eye doctor, their ophthalmologist, for treatment of that disease. And often the ophthalmologist will refer to our clinic. And all the eye doctors know about Vista Center. We've been here for a long time, but they may be very busy and not think to refer. And so sometimes if the person says to their doctor, I'm having a hard time reading or, traveling safely, that will spur initiate the referral to our clinic. For people who've been long time low vision, who've lived with low vision for a long time, or they're born with a condition, let's say with albinism or retinopathy of prematurity, they may not see their doctors as often because their conditions are stable. And however, we do like everyone to come in who has seen their doctor, just so that we know that they don't need any further medical treatment. And then that way we can assess what their functional vision is, and through the exam, identify what tools are best for them to use. Our exam is actually quite different. We focus on contrast, magnification, how much light someone needs, accessibility options, things like that, versus a regular medical doctor is going to focus on the disease process and what can they do to medically treat the condition. So we're more in regenerative optometry.
And we have a really good question about, is the clinic for just for Blind Center members or other people? And also we have a doctor asking how she can refer in. So maybe you could go through some of those steps. So of course, everyone is welcome to come to Vista Center, regardless of your insurance. We have scholarships and so forth. But maybe Dr. Chin can tell us a little bit more about the referral process.
The referral process is really, if you're a doctor from an office, it's really just faxing over a referral form. We like to have basic information on the patient's ocular diagnosis, their acuity, their insurance, and contact information. And then the person who receives that information will reach out to the client and schedule the appointment. Let's see. It's actually really easy. there might be a little bit of a wait just because the clinic, we spend an hour and a half with each patient. And so we're not seeing 15 patients a day, we're seeing 4 a day. And so, so we don't see the volume as in other eye clinics, just so that we're given the amount of time to really address all the needs that each person has.
And I think that's one of the reasons why our clients have such good marks on their visits, is that they do get a lot of time from someone very capable and dedicated and trained like you, Dr. Chen. And then we have other people in the clinic who can help with trying on different glasses for tint or contrast, and kind of have an after exam session as well. So I know we just, like the story that I told earlier, we're so happy when we can change a life. One of the things that people are also wondering is, how are we handling our appointments during the COVID mask wearing and social distancing? Can you share more about that?
Right. Well, as with a lot of other medical practices, we ask that everyone wear a mask that enters our building. The doors are actually locked, so we'll be expecting you at your appointment. We don't have drop-ins. And then all of our staff will be wearing a mask. Everything is disinfected before and after you leave. All the devices, anything that's been touched will be disinfected. We have air purifiers in all of the exam rooms. I feel quite safe, and I can say all the doctors are fully vaccinated for COVID. So, so that's another, I think, measure of confidence. But I think it's perfectly safe to come into the clinic, and we're taking all the precautions. Oh, and we take temperatures as well of everyone, and staff has their temperature taken every day that we're in the office. All staff is.
And we talked a little bit earlier about how the family is benefited from someone in their family coming into the clinic and getting their confidence back and learning how to live with limited vision. Do you have a story or any type of a way to share a little bit more about that impact?
So I encourage a family member to accompany the person to the evaluation, because so much is learned during the evaluation about how the person functions with their vision loss and ways in which to mitigate the difficulties that the person has. One story that I'll never forget is a woman came in and we measured her contrast as being severely reduced. And so I was explaining how contrast is really important, how we can improve visual function by increasing the contrast in the environment. And since I'm Asian, I guess I always use white rice. It's better not to have white rice in a white bowl, because it'd be hard to see the white rice. And the family member spoke up and she said, "Oh my gosh, is that why you stopped eating your hard-boiled eggs, because they're on a white plate and you didn't see them?" And the woman said, "Yes, I didn't know the egg was there." And then the family member said, "I just thought you didn't like eggs anymore." And so it's, a simple remedy is to use contrast in the environment. But it's not something that everyone thinks about until they're in the exam room, they see how poorly the person performs on a contrast test, and then we directly relate that to everyday life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know the caretakers are also so grateful for all the work that you do, and our staff that goes out to the homes and helps people as well.
We have amazing rehabilitation staff that goes out to the homes. We can mark appliances, mark steps, lighting assessment, of course, contrast, even adjust some of the settings on a computer or television set so that someone can see that better. In the office, often I'll just adjust the settings on their smartphone if they have their smartphones with them. It's very simple things like that that can actually make a big difference.
Mm-hmm. And I know that technology is really moving along with more audio and artificial intelligence. And we do offer classes to help people use their technology, whether it be in their home or their smartphone. So that's becoming a very, very interesting target for us. And we've had an event around technology called Site Tech Global that brought together many of the companies who are here in the Bay Area and around the world to talk about artificial intelligence. So I'm glad you touched on that. Let's see, I'm going to read what is the preferred cell phone for someone who is completely blind? Are there classes offered on the cell phone? So yes, the classes are there, and we support any phone that someone has, but the screen readers and other technology that's built by the vendors support Android and Apple phones. We see a lot of Apple products. But again, we can assist and teach on almost any of that. And someone else is asking about volunteer opportunities. And I'm going to give a shout out to the Lions. Yay. Thank you, Linda, for asking that question. We love our volunteers, and the Lions do so much to help us every single year and have been instrumental in the San Jose site that's been there. I believe that the building was built in the 50s. And so for us to continue to have that and now open a new service is just thrilling. So yes, we have people that can come out to the Lions Club and talk to you. We have several staff members who are blind or visually impaired that have a beautiful story to tell about how they have moved back into the workforce with tools, working for us, providing tremendous value in a give back kind of a mode. So yes, Linda, we can have people come out to the Lions Club. And another question about how can the community support your work? Well, I'll tell you, with my job, I love people who give us money because most of our services are offered at no charge to any member in the Bay Area, and we rely on charitable contributions to keep everything going, to compensate Dr. Chin and the other staff members of the clinic. We have a lot of volunteers that give activity classes. We have yoga for people who are blind. We have a ceramics class in San Jose. And again, sometimes we'll have a volunteer to lead that class, but oftentimes we will have to pay an instructor. So again, I love getting donations, and we have a big donate button on our site if you want to go and visit there. Also, we do have volunteer activities for groups of people that want to get together and do volunteering. So we serve a meal during non-COVID times to seniors once a week. And that's always fun to volunteer for. We go on hikes and other recreation where it's really helpful to have kind of a one-on-one relationship with having a sighted person working with someone who is visually impaired. Barbara, we do not have singing classes. However, your question is interesting because we are going to have an event called Voices for Vista, and it's coming out in May, and two of our very close friends, one of our board members and one of our staff members, are opera singers. One is a former opera singer. So we love music at Vista Center. Dr. Chin, how long have you been at Vista Center? And what inspires your dedication? We have a question for you there.
Okay, I've been here since 1992, so that is coming up on oh my gosh, I want to say 28, 29, 20, something like that years, if my math is correct. And I have to tell you that ever since I did a residency in low vision, I knew that I wanted to be in a low vision clinic. I also taught at UC Berkeley for about 25 years in the low vision clinic. And, but that was also teaching interns to perform the low vision exam. It's great to teach, but for me, it was so much more rewarding to actually be the person working with the patients and directly involved in their care. And so even though I live in the East Bay and prior to COVID, it took me an hour and a half to come, I just love working at Vista Center because of the impact that the whole agency has. It also, going on what Corey mentioned, we're the only agency that has a sliding scale. And that is critical for a lot of the people that we serve. It would be disheartening for me to spend an hour and a half with someone and then at the end of the exam have someone walk away without anything because they felt the device was too expensive. And at Vista Center, that never happened, because even if it was a device as, as expensive as a desktop video magnifier, or CCTV, which can be $4,000 brand new, we have a loaner program. Or even, a magnifier, we can make it work for anyone's financial circumstances. And for me, it's being able to help a person identify what works for them and then have the ability to say, here it is. And Vista Center is really, truly the only agency that does that. Trust me. And so we're so grateful to everyone who enables Vista to provide the services that we can in the manner that we can, because we're the only agency, I'll say that over and over again, in the entire Bay Area that can do that. And it's really rewarding to be on this side of it. So thank you to everyone.
And yes, we do have a scholarship fund that people can donate to, that our clients then can get the help that they need. And again, that's from charitable contributions from individuals, corporations. The Lions have been very helpful to us over the years in helping with our scholarships. Let's see, do we have a loaner program for AT? We have someone that's asking a question about that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're familiar with that, Dr. Chin.
Well, we do have a loaner program for the video magnifiers. For other assistive technology, I'm assuming you're talking about computers. And at this point, we do not, unfortunately. I know there's an agency in Texas that refurbishes computers and sells them for a nominal fee, and then we can help with learning, the technology. But in terms of computers or iPads or smartphones, we don't have that yet. But definitely the video magnifiers, it's been a long-standing program. It started out with seed money from a grant where we purchased brand new video magnifiers, and then over time, people have donated video magnifiers, and it's a very robust program, and really proud that Vista Center offers that.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Thank you so much for that. And just a short question from someone who must know us. She's asking about the looms that we used to have in the Santa Cruz office, and are there any plans for weaving classes? So I'm going to share with Dawn, who asked that question, to please get in touch with Patrice McGinnis, who is the director of the Santa Cruz office. And her email address is on the site, or you can send an email to info@vistacenter.com. So getting a warning that our time is coming close to an end. So once again, I want to thank Dr. Chin. I want to thank Senior Director Garland Sarami. And I saw that Pam Brandon, our former executive director, was on the Zoom. So hi to Pam Brandon, and thank you for the vision to get this site associated with Vista Center, and then have the vision to open our third low vision clinic. Also, one more shout out to the county, who did make a very nice contribution to the equipment for the center, and also to the Vintage Affair donors, philanthropists, host committee members, and volunteers over the years. Let's see. Yes, so we're offering the donation button in the chat if you want to go there, but we would enjoy having any donation from $1 to $5,000 or $10,000 if someone wanted to do that today as well. Got to ask, right? So in closing, thank you so much for joining. We're super excited about having the clinic open, and can do that by appointment. And all of our phone numbers and everything are online. Our website is vistacenter.org. And we thank you for attending tonight and for sharing this really wonderful celebration of the Vista Center Low Vision Clinic San Jose office. So there's an after show that I think they're going to show some slides, but I'll say good night and thank you so much for joining us.